Hello everyone, this is Chinwe Oyilidike Nwafor, the storyteller. Once more, I'll be telling another story from my book, A Collection of Ghost Stories. And I'll be telling the story of the banana ghost. Now, this also happened in Lagos State. You see, I think ghosts, they like to go to Lagos State a lot. It happened in Lagos State. There was this young man called Desmond. He rented an apartment in a particular street. He had gotten a new job. He was trying to settle down, so he rented an apartment, furnished the apartment, and that day he moved into his apartment. He had settled in and had gone to bed. Around 1 a.m. at night, Desmond heard the voice of a female, like a young girl, screaming, "Buy banana, buy banana." And Desmond was like, wow, who sells bananas at 1 a.m. at night? Even in Lagos, that's too early to start selling. And I was like, what's happening? And then the voice started getting closer, and it was as if the voice was now at his door. It became louder, "Buy banana, buy banana." Desmond felt a particular chill, a kind of fear came over him. And he was like, who is that? Who is that? And there was no reply. All he kept hearing, after some time, it stopped. And Desmond was like, wow. And then the next thing, it would start again. "Buy banana, buy banana." And Desmond was like, who is that? Who is that? And then the voice would stop. Desmond was so scared. He took his rosary. And just then, he heard his next door neighbors, the Uchendus, pleading the blood of Jesus, praying, pleading the blood of Jesus. And Desmond, he held his rosary tight, and he was praying his rosary and praying his rosary. And Desmond didn't sleep that night till the next morning. Even when the voice had faded away, he didn't sleep that night. The next morning, he took a few clothes, ran to his friend's house, Dan. And he told Dan, "Please, I'm staying with you for a few days." And Dan was like, what's happening? And Desmond began to narrate his experience to Dan. And Dan was like, "No, Desmond, it's just, don't do that. You're a man. What do you mean? Maybe it's just something. Why don't you try another night?" And so he convinced Desmond to go back home, and maybe stress was what was wrong with him. And Desmond decided to sleep that night again. And the incident repeated itself. And of course, he heard the Uchendus praying again. The next morning, he went straight, he knocked at their door, and he asked them what was happening. And they told him they didn't know that since they packed in a month ago, this was what they were experiencing at that particular time. 1 a.m. or around 2 a.m., the girl's voice would be there selling banana. And they had never seen any girl. That they had even opened their door to look for the person, and they had seen no one. Just a voice saying, "Buy banana." That convinced Desmond. He packed everything, packed his few, not everything, he packed few of his clothes, and he told Dan, "If you will not let me sleep in your house, I'll sleep outside. This is what is happening." And his friend was like, "Okay, let's go to the street and find out. There must be something." And so they went, and while they were, asking around, they met an old man. And the old man told Desmond, said, "Are you the young man who just moved in?" And Desmond said, "Yes, I just moved into that compound." And the man told them to sit down, that he had a story to tell them. He told them that years ago, while they were building that house and laying the foundation, that a ritual was done in that house. That the men wanted a human sacrifice to solidify the foundation of the house. And so a young girl selling banana, she was hawking a banana, and then they called the young girl into the place. They killed her and they buried her there. He said that no one knew about this. The only thing that was occurring was that people moved into the house, complained that the house was haunted, and they moved out. He told Desmond that no one had ever lived in that house for up to 3 months. He said that this thing continued. The house kept changing tenants until one of the men, who was among those who laid the foundation of the house, actually, while he was dying, confessed. He said the story became a sensation at that period. He confessed that they had lured the girl selling banana into the area where they were building the house. They had strangled her, and they had buried her with the foundation of the house. That was when people finally understood what was happening. Well, the original owner of the house had died earlier. So the children who had inherited the house from their father, they called prayer people, they prayed, They sanctified the house. In fact, they renovated the house, painted everywhere, changed the windows and everything. And that's why they rented it to the new set of tenants. That's Desmond and the Uchendos. And Desmond told the man that nothing had changed, that the buy banana ghost was still in the house. And the old man told them definitely that she was buried there, and so that house is actually hers. That there's nothing that can be done unless her ghost, her body, or her bones is exhumed from that house and buried properly. That as far as it is there, it will continue to be her home, her abode, and that no one will have peace in that compound. Desmond then told Dan, see what I was telling you? That was when Dan began to believe, and it was sounding like a movie, but Desmond was like, this one is not a movie. I heard the voice clearly. This is not a movie. And so Desmond went and told the Uchendos that, look, find your way. I'm finding my way. And so he started squatting with his friend every night. He would squat with his friend Dan till he finally got an apartment somewhere near Dan Street. He moved everything to his apartment. And so that first day he settled in, was like, whew, thank God. Desmond had told a lot of people about his experience, his parents, his siblings, and friends, anyone who cared to hear. And so he settled in that day. He said, finally, I'm at peace. And around, let's say, 7 p.m., in the evening, he was watching a program. And the next thing Desmond heard was, bye, banana. And Desmond froze. Was like, wow. Did the buy banana ghost decide to follow him to his new house? Desmond was really scared. He was like, what kind of problem is this? I have left her abode for her. Did she decide to follow me to my new abode? But when he opened the window, he saw that it was a woman with a baby on her back, hawking banana. And that's when Desmond breathed down and said, aha. And that was how Desmond settled into his new house. Desmond never went back to that street to find out anything about the buy banana ghost, the haunted house. He didn't know if anyone was bold enough to exhume her body or take it for a proper burial. All Desmond knew was that God had saved him from a haunted house. And he did not stop telling anyone who cared to listen about his story, how he experienced a haunted house. And I believe in haunted houses. I've heard a lot of stories of haunted houses in different places where the spirits in the house refuse to leave the house. There's always something that keeps them in that house. So I think for that house, it was actually the girl's body. Her body is there, it's buried there, so it's her abode. The proper thing to do, just as the old man said, would be to exhume her body and bury it give it a proper burial, and maybe, just maybe, her ghost will rest. So that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed the story. Watch out for another story from my book, a collection of ghost stories. Once more, my name is Chinwe Oyilidike Nwafor, the storyteller. Thank you.